It is considered the best tournament of its kind in America. And why not? For 2 days, 4 of our country's most basketball-rich states come crashing together to determine which one is best. Former players in this tournament have been distinguishing themselves in college ball, and now today we'll get to see the next generation. But before leaving home for the college campus, they'll play one last time for the pride of their entire home state. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net. This is the Nutter Center at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, and this is the 5th annual Wendy's Classic. And Team Michigan and Team Illinois will be playing for 3rd place in this game. Both were stung yesterday, Bill Hoskett, and they're going to have to learn as they head to college that you hop back in the saddle, 24 hours rest only.
Well, that's all part of it, but I think it's a great experience for these young men. This is a great tournament, and these 4 states represent the very finest of basketball in the Midwest.
You've been through this as a player. What is it like to come back after only 24 hours from a defeat?
Well, I think the kids really learn a little bit about themselves, and that's part of what all-star play is all about, because it's the first time that you've really faced this type of competition, not only from your own teammates, but of course the people you're playing against. So they're starting to realize what it's going to be like at that next level, and you have to come back because they have to be able to compete.
Well, these are the guys who are going to be dominating our TV screens for the next 4 years as they play major college basketball, so let's meet them now.
And now, let's meet the players for this 3rd place game between Team Illinois and Team Michigan. First, for Team Illinois, from West Aurora High School and headed to Lewis University, number 1, Austin Rio. From Abingdon and signed with Indiana State, number 4, Barry Welsh. From Elgin High School and also bound for Indiana State, number 11, Marcus Howard. From Quincy High School and committed to Western Illinois, number 12, J.D. Summers. From Richards High School and signed with Marquette University, number 15, Dwayne Wade. From Downers Grove North and signed with Augustana, number 20, Drew Karsten. From Mahomet Seymour and bound for the University of Illinois, number 23, Brett Melton. Out of West Aurora High School and headed to Loyola of Chicago, number 24, Lewis Smith. From Hillcrest High School and signed with Marquette University, number 30, Ogarte Blankson. From Elgin High School and bound for Northern Illinois, number 40, Marcus Smallwood. From Dalton Thornridge and headed to New Mexico State, number 44, James Moore. The coaches for Team Illinois are Dave Gilliland of Burlington Central, Mike Bailey of Chicago St. Patrick's, and Rick Moss of Centralia. And now, let's meet Team Michigan. From Hastings High School and signed with Central Michigan University, number 2, Tony Bound. From Midland Dow High School and bound for Minnesota Duluth, number 10, Matt Miller. From Detroit Murray Wright and signed with TCU, number 13, James Davis. From Kalamazoo Central High School and headed to the University of Detroit, number 14, Thomas Dillard. From Saginaw High School and coming here to Ohio to play for the Miami Redhawks, number 21, Eugene Seals. Out of Detroit Renaissance High School and signed with Missouri, number 25, Ricky Paulding. From Flint Central and headed to the reigning national champion Michigan State Spartans, number 33, Tim Baraka. Out of Detroit Pershing and head for Missouri, number 41, Arthur Johnson. From Wyoming Park and signed with Grand Rapids Community College, number 45, Cabrillo Kimball. From Tri-Unity Christian High School and on his way to Central Michigan, number 53, Chris Kamen. The coaches for Team Michigan are Robert Menifee of Detroit Cody, Derek Owens of Detroit DeForest, and Marty Allwood of New Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Illinois, Team Michigan.
Bill Hoskett, you spoke with both head coaches about tonight's game. Their thoughts?
Well, both are concerned, obviously, as all coaches do, even in the month of July, Chuck, when they're coming off a loss. Michigan concerned about getting back defensively and playing together. And the same thing really for Illinois. They felt that their team really broke down in the opening game. After a couple of days of very good practices, everything went well, and then they turned on the lights, threw the ball up for real, and everybody kind of went for themselves, which can happen in an all-star game.
And in this tournament, we weren't sure coming in if there would be a clear favorite. This was a real pick-em year, and the favorites have tended to come home. Let's take a look at the all-time standings in the Wendy's Classic, which is now midway through its 5th year. Team Ohio has won this event twice. It will be playing Team Indiana in the championship, those two meeting for the first time ever for the trophy. Team Illinois is 3-4. It joined this tournament 1 year late, replacing Team Kentucky after the first year. And Team Michigan has struggled in the last couple of years. It's coming off an 0-2 in 1999, and it does not want to do this 2 years in a row.
There's Eugene Seals, who had a tremendous night last night, getting 23 points and 16 rebounds, 9 of them offensive boards. So this guy is very, very active.
Arthur Johnson, 6'9", will be jumping up in the red for Team Michigan. He is kind of the big hoss of the tournament, and he is able to outreach Team Illinois' Dwayne Wade. College rules in this tournament: when the players graduated from high school, they fell under auspices of the NCAA, no longer under control of their high schools. Arthur Johnson misses. He had scored 17 last night.
Nice quick step right there, and that little move across the middle, and that's the strength of this ball club. They're outside shooting.
Brett Melton, headed to the University of Illinois, scored 28 last night in that semifinal loss.
And 5 of those were threes, and he has the early 3 in this one.
Steal by J.D. Summers of Team Illinois. See a lot of man-to-man defense. The teams have practiced all week. Summers goes down, and he is fouled by number 14 they've chosen. It's Thomas Dillard. So J.D. Summers. Well-built kid. He has chosen Western Illinois. Had 11 points and 4 rebounds yesterday. Team Illinois lost to Team Indiana in the semifinals by 11. Team Michigan lost to Team Ohio by just 4.
There's a good push up the floor again. They're going to get the easy one inside if it goes, but it doesn't. Foul inside. But both coaches concerned about getting back defensively, and we've seen neither team getting back here in the early going. And that's the toughest adjustment you'll see from high school players as they try to go to the next level, is making the defensive adjustments.
Ricky Paulding, out of Detroit Renaissance High School and headed to the University of Missouri. He had 10 last night. Averaged 26 points per game as a high school senior this past season. He was first team All-State.
Looked very relaxed on both of those.
The coaches have said that a point guard is probably as critical as any one position in this tournament.
When you're playing against good athletes, you want to get yourselves organized at the offensive end. And that's one of the big keys of that point, to get the ball up the floor. Welsh getting it there and taking good care of the basketball.
This is a year in which players seem to be very lean, and there's sort of the prototype of this year's tournament. Dwayne Wade, 6'4", 197.
Well, last year's MVP, Brandon Hunter, was a real horse, very well put together for a high school guy that just took over this tournament. And Chuck, that'll change very quickly as they get to the collegiate level. The bodies change real quickly when they hit the weights.
Yep, and 3 squares a day.
And you can tell the difference in the high school programs that are getting involved in it, and some of those that are not yet into that activity.
Team Illinois had 11 turnovers in its semifinal game. The coaches were concerned. They said, in the semifinal, we played like individuals instead of like a team. That's Tony Bown out of Hastings High School and headed to the Mid-American Conference in Central Michigan. Guarding Barry Welsh,
Nice
J.D.
look.
Summers. He'll shoot 2.
Nice play by Welsh as he took it inside and found his teammate. Was looking to give it up the entire way.
J.D. Summers came to town 4 days ago. Wanted to make a quick call home just to tell friends and family that he had arrived safely in Dayton. And in the hotel room, you have to dial 9 to get out of the hotel and then dial 1 to start your long distance. And he then misdialed the next number and hung up real quickly, not realizing he had dialed 911.
Hello.
And the cops rushed the hotel. Summers gives the Wendy's Classic a first.
And they come with a little pressure after the made free throw.
They've had enough time to practice to put in a lot of plays. Johnson misses. Summers with the ball.
Did a nice job breaking the press, got it inside, and the big guy couldn't get it to go.
None of the 4 teams of the tournament had any special luck yesterday with their 3-point shots, by the way. Good block defensively. This is Seals, a standout talent, on his way to Miami University.
Good step again by Wade at the other end. He didn't get the call. He's walking it off and talking with the officials.
5'10" Barry Welsh bringing it up from Abingdon High School and headed to Indiana State, program that's making some noise. Traveling is called underneath. Dwayne Wade takes steps. Played just a few minutes. It's Illinois by a couple.
Wade with that great quickness got himself free again, and this time shuffled the feet before he took the shot, but they get into their pressure defense again. And this is one thing that would be tough in an all-star game. You can organize maybe a little bit of a press, which they're doing here, a little 2-2-1. But putting a press breaker together for these coaches could be very difficult in a short amount of time.
2 missed dunks by Michigan. That one by Paulding. Tried to get underneath it, but it didn't work for Dwayne Wade. The teams did not shoot especially well yesterday, with the exception of Team Indiana, which in its semifinal defeat of Illinois shot 60% from the field. Seals guarded by Summers.
Showing a little versatility as Seals comes out to help break the press.
3-second call, I think, on Johnson, who was camped underneath.
Might have called a foul on Johnson for establishing position.
What the players also have to adjust to in the Wendy's Classic, which tries to separate itself from all-star games and as a tournament, is that the officials, all from the Mid-American Conference, as you see Wade score.
And I'll tell you, I'm impressed with Wade, Chuck, with this great quickness he's shown. He's had a couple of tough examples where he didn't get calls, but he keeps himself in motion, and he got the easy one. Now we've got an offensive foul at the other end.
Charging on Paulding, and I don't think the basket counted.
Contact was before he released it. So Paulding, after missing the dunk, decided to go in a little bit more aggressively that time and take it up off the glass. But the aggressive play cost him. Ball back to Illinois.
This is Welsh guarded by Bound. Welsh was first team All-State. Melton, the great three-pointer, is fouled, so he'll shoot 3 free throws. He's banged by James Davis.
Melton wasted no time in getting that one airborne. I think he decided at the hotel he was going to put that one up. He came off the baseline, just popped out, caught it in the act of shooting, and let it go.
He holds every important shooting mark in Muhammad Seymour High School history. Chose the University of Illinois, Bill, when Lon Kruger was still the coach, but Kruger's not there anymore. And yet Melton says he's thrilled with the new coaching staff.
Well, Bill Self did a great job at Tulsa last year, and there's tremendous talent remaining at Illinois. So that's going to be a good situation for that school for a few years to come. And take nothing away from Lon Kruger. He did a great job of recruiting and also coaching that basketball team.
Some Wendy's Classic alumni are on that Illinois roster now and prominent. Brian Cook, the tall center, and muscular Sergio McLean now playing for the Illini.
Cook was just outstanding here a year ago in this tournament. Seals again, helping against the pressure.
It's James Davis long. Tony Bound, right place at the right time. The championship game, as Wells fired short, will have a different personality than this one. Illinois has made its games run and gun, and Michigan has done the same. Ohio and Indiana, much more controlled. Melton intentionally has to take down a driving Illini player on that one, or Michigan player, pardon me.
Johnson with a little outlet. He just kind of threw it softly out toward half court. Knew he had nothing but red shirts out in front of him. And Paulding again has shown good speed in the open floor and continues to take it to the basket. This time he was fouled, goes back up for 2 more free throws. First one doesn't drop.
Paulding is coming off a senior year season in which his team went 22-3 in the Class B segment of Michigan high school basketball. And with his free throw, we will have a timeout at the 15:40 mark of the first half. Again, this is for 3rd place in the Wendy's Classic, the 5th annual Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net. The Wendy's Classic is brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. It's there for you. By Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. Grange Insurance. For all your insurance needs, choose Grange Insurance, your partner in protection. By Meyer, a million reasons, a single store. And there's a time for life and a time for sport. This is for those who know the difference. Fila.
Well done, Demetrius. You have passed the test of fire and the test of great strength. Now, the final test. You must eat a Wendy's Classic triple with cheese, biggie fries, and a drink. Only the most heroic can finish such a large meal.
Nikos, it is too big.
Zeus, what mortal can make such a feast?
A great man. His name is Dave Thomas.
Man, no. He must be a god.
Wendy's Classic triple, as close to bliss as a mortal can get.
And remember, Wendy's pickup window is open late, so you can eat great even late.
Coming up next, the Dr. Pepper halftime show.
You make the world taste better, yeah. You make the world taste better. You make the world taste better.
Team Michigan went 0-2 in last year's Wendy's Classic. It does not want to do that again. And in this, the 3rd place game, it is taking on Team Illinois. Team Illinois won the championship of this event in 1998. Team Michigan is one of only 2 teams to have reached the title game in 3 of the first 5 years, but they've not headed home with the trophy. Almost entirely new units in now for both teams. In prior years, the coaches tended to substitute 1 or 2 players at a time, but early on in the games, they tend to bring in separate units. The players have either 10 or 11 players, up to them. This is Chris Kamen. Looks slender, but yesterday he showed the ability to always be around the ball and also to have the strength to rebound.
And you can tell these guys have just come in the game a little bit cold. Good look inside to Wade. He dropped it the play before. They had Smallwood wide open underneath, but he had just checked in. Not yet loose and lost control. So 2 consecutive turnovers by Team Illinois.
With the ball, Cabrillo Kimball out of Wyoming Park. He'll be going to Grand Rapids Community College. One of a couple of good quarterbacks in point guard position that Michigan feels it has. Good long stroke, but no good from James Davis. And with the ball, this is Marcus Howard. Marcus Smallwood. Nice shot over a slightly taller Chris Kamen.
Tough angle for the right-hander. He had gone almost to the baseline and nearly just avoided the edge of the backboard.
But the coaches, I say, they try to hold their team together in doing on the second night when they've lost on the first is to prevent run and gun and prevent just a three-point circus. Tough task to do. The guys are still hurting from 24 hours ago.
Well, they all want to prove that they belong, so see the concern of the coaching staff right there at that shot. And what you have to do is keep them concentrating on what the scoreboard is saying as far as Illinois and Michigan, not what they're doing as individuals.
That's Matt Miller, the only lefty in the Wendy's Classic.
Nice touch right there.
He averaged 27 a game as a senior this past winter. Bombs away by Howard.
3-on-1.
Everything was right but the shot. Miller misses. Chris Kamen at 7 feet is nonetheless challenged by Dwayne Wade at just 6'4".
Nice change of direction again by Wade. He'll go up to the free throw line for a pair.
He's headed to Marquette, Bill. 6'4", 197. He takes senior year numbers of 27 points a game and 11 rebounds a game to Marquette.
Tom Crean will greet him with open arms. He and Dartney Blankson also on this ball club, both headed to Marquette.
And Michigan has a pair both of whom are headed to Missouri. Rebound by Kamen. Nice block defensively. Marcus Howard.
Great effort right there.
The effort was by Timbo Gracchus, and it helps to pull his team to within 3.
Well, he's going to be a preferred walk-on at Michigan State, and that's the type of effort right there going on the floor after the basketball that will help you make a team that will become or is right now, I guess, the defending national champions.
Langston misses. Broken down court is Paulding, just one of those real rhythmic basketball players up and over there.
Nobody stopped the basketball, so Paulding took it until the defense showed themselves and then just pushed up the short jumper, but it doesn't go.
Number 24 for Illinois is Lewis Smith out of West Aurora, and just off a state championship year in Illinois. Zone defense by Michigan stops that backdoor effort. Good defense by Kamen. It just wasn't there for Smallwood. Team Illinois' record in the Wendy's Classic over the years is 3-4. Team Michigan's is 3-6.
High screen by Kamen's coming out. Just flip it to the weak side. Nice pass again. On the big guy. You got to make those.
Michigan has now missed 3 dunks, that time by a 7-footer. It gives good enough defense on Langston to change the shot, but really nice follow by Smallwood. Two states with about 11 million people each. Lots of basketball talent has come out of these states through the years, missed by Miller. This is that one tournament that, for these fellas, is their first opportunity to measure their state against 3 contiguous states. And it's conferences like the Big Ten and the MAC that have really generated the great rivalries in basketball.
Smallwood shuffles the feet as he catches it. Going to make an aggressive move against Kamen, taking it inside. Timeout on the floor.
This
Illinois
is
with a 5-point lead.
On Fox Sports Net.
Sportsnet. These kids...
I guess it was about a year ago something really different happened to me. The inventor of this machine, the torso track, asked me to give him 1 minute of my time. I did, and for 1 minute I did this exercise. I could have done more, but he said that's enough. Well, the next morning when I woke up, whew, my stomach burned, my abs burned, my chest, obliques, and my back. I felt like I'd spent hours at the gym. I knew I had to have one of these machines. Well, it has been a year now with my torso track, and I just want to say I'm in the best shape of my life. It doesn't matter if you're just starting to work out or if you're Frank Zane, 3-time Mr. Universe. Torso track will adjust to your fitness level. Now, how about giving me a minute of your time? Call and we'll send you a torso track to try, risk-free.
Call now and we'll send you a torso track to try in your own home for 1 month, risk-free. If you decide to keep it, we'll give you a year to pay, interest-free.
Order your torso track today. Call 1-800-383-0869.
Bill Hoskett, this is Chuck Underwood from the Nutter Center on the campus of Wright State University in Dayton. This is the 5th annual Wendy's Classic Tournament that showcases the best of Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana in state versus state competition. We've had some terrific individual plays by both teams. Shooting percentages, however, are low. O'Darty Blankson with the ball.
Some really good moves to the hoop here in the early going, Chuck, and Paulding that time showing his athletic ability, as we've seen Wade do it the other end for Illinois, taking it to the basket. But as you mentioned, just not converting.
Pass from Smallwood underneath is tapped back out and then retrieved. Nice feed there. Oh, nice defense by Ricky Paulding. Seals. Flying bodies, no baskets.
Good catch by Seals. He just couldn't convert it.
Blankson. And Paulding is one of those guys, we're just going to mention his name a lot. Some guys just manage to always be around the ball.
I know some guys are usually pretty good players, aren't they?
Show up on every line on the box score.
How does that keep happening? They're just always lucky.
Nice three-point stroke by Lewis Smith. His state championship team went 31-1 this past winter. The Michigan coaches say that man shooting, Eugene Seals, represents a steal for Charlie Coles, the head coach at Miami University, where he'll enroll. And they say that with affection because they say he is a Big Ten Conference starter if he had chosen. But he'll stay in the Mid-American Conference with Coles, who is thrilled to have him.
Great hands, very active.
Marcus Howard. Nice moves, and he's much taller than the man guarding him, so if he decides to shoot, he'll have a good reach on Cabrillo Kimball.
Another rebound for Seals.
Tony Bound. Excellent student, Bound. National Honor Society, academic All-State. And Miller dribbles off his foot. And here come a bunch of substitutes. That's head coach Dave Gilliland there talking to Marcus Smallwood. You're looking at a man who nearly died last Saturday, about 7 days ago. He was at a picnic. He's changing schools after a successful stay at Burlington Central. He'll be going this autumn to Belvedere High School, and his former school was throwing a picnic for him, a send-off and a thank you. He mistakenly, when reaching for a cheese snack, picked up a cheese snack that had an almost invisible fragment of peanuts on it. He has an allergy to peanuts. It nearly killed him. He was code blue to the hospital, was not breathing for a length of time, and recovered.
Absolutely unbelievable story. Very nice person. Continued to work with these young kids. Has done this more than just 1 year. And you look at the field goal shooting here in the early going, not good for either club, but Michigan under 25%.
Furious riding there. The coaching staff for Team Michigan is excellent, and for Team Illinois. The coaches are chosen, and it becomes for them an honor to participate in this event that is just as great as the players being chosen. with their backs to you in the charcoal shirts there on the left on your screen was Rick Moss, and the other coach from Chicago St. Patrick's is Mike Bailey. Cheerleaders come from high schools in the Dayton, Ohio area. This has been a week in which the players have had a night of laser tag for entertainment, a pizza party. They had the team banquet right before the semifinal night at the largest Air Force museum in the world, which is on the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base here in Dayton. And it has been the point of the tournament to make the experience both socially enjoyable as well as give most of these players the biggest dose of competition that they have had to date.
And so much of that due to the efforts of the man that was just explaining it, Mr. Chuck Underwood, the director. You've done seriously a great job with this tournament.
Well, the coaches select the players, and they also start explaining to them when chosen the whole business of state pride. And the players simply have responded to that. Tight man-to-man defense now. Team Illinois in the black, moving on Team Michigan. Into the game, that's Austin Reel, who's just entered. He's out of state champion West Aurora High School.
Kamen has really nice defensive instincts inside the big guy, and he works hard to stay out of foul trouble. And it's tough when you're that big in high school because so many times it becomes so easy for you to just almost play a zone and watch from inside the block shots. But he does a good job of getting back defensively, finding the action, and then getting to the defensive glass.
Still a common foul out of bounds. The foul was on Austin Reel against Johnson, and there Reel steals it away from Johnson.
Johnson a little too casual with the basketball that time.
Welsh, the leading point guard now for Team Illinois, is back and with the ball, guarded by a taller Eugene Seals. Reel over Johnson. Welsh tries to tip, but Seals outreaches him, and here's Tony Bound.
Nice job by Welsh getting back inside, at least getting his hands on the ball.
Nice pass, but Kamen can't get it to the basket quickly enough. James Moore saves the day. There's Marty Allworth. He is the head coach of Team Michigan out of New Haven High School, and he's the man who really gave the state of Michigan a pep talk in getting this state's better players into this event this year. Excellent coach. Johnson goes sky high, but Kamen is there to help him out.
Nice idea there by Johnson. A little touch pass, but too much touch on it, and it goes out of bounds.
That's Derek Owens that you just saw there a minute ago, who has led DeForest High School in Detroit to state championship after state championship after state championship. And despite all that, his focus with his players is on academics. We have a timeout called at 7:51. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
There are backyards and alleys and last-second plays when I take the time to be a hero today. We got the shoes, the game, and the gear. One-on-one, it all starts here. There's a million reasons and a single story.
Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse know how to play on and off the court. Carla Overbeck took a year off at the height of her career to have a baby. Sammy Sosa has built an impressive home run resume, as well as a children's health clinic in his hometown. There's a time for sport and a time for life. Here's to those who know the difference.
Auto insurance is not some do-it-yourself project.
I tried an 800 number I saw on TV.
It really takes sitting down with an expert who knows the ropes.
But like maintenance, it's who you know. And that's not someone that's thousands of miles away with a headset on, 5 people on hold.
Range Insurance is only sold through independent agents. And we have to do a good enough job that the agent can look the customer right in the eye and say,
I sat down with my agent, told her my life story, and she said,
Grange is the best choice for your car.
She said Grange. And I'm real comfortable with that.
Dave Gilliland, we mentioned earlier before, as you see him there, after he nearly died last week, he said, I probably won't have my intensity at the Wendy's Classic.
Yeah, right.
Last night in the semifinals, he almost was a sideshow. The rule in college basketball now allows coaches to actually come 3 feet onto the court, and he clearly works with a different yardstick. Not enough in this broadcast will be able to be said about Eugene Seals. He just wowed the people last night. He'll probably do it during this game. And Miami University in Oxford has to be smiling about him. They're also bringing in Julius Johnson from the state of Ohio. Dwayne Wade misses. James Moore misses. And is blocked by Johnson. The big Haas, as they call him, gets up. Bound, nice feed, and this time Team Michigan makes a dunk. Paulding. 1 for 4 in dunks.
Chuck, do you have the game ball?
No, it's down by your right knee. If they only knew all the garbage under the broadcast table. Barry Welsh, 5'10", 190. But he's going to wade into Indiana State. Program, Indiana has so many colleges right now in addition to the traditional Purdue and Indiana that have really distinguished themselves in the regular season. And it seems now that the state of Indiana is getting 5 colleges a year into the NCAA.
Well, that's the way it works. Of course, the NCAA adding another one next year, so it's going to ruin all those office pools of 64 teams because now there's going to be 65.
How do you chart that? Nice pass into Johnson as Austin Reel is caught off guard. Johnson had 17 points and 10 rebounds in the loss to Team Ohio in the semifinals yesterday. Smooth by Dwayne Wade. Most of the games of the Wendy's Classic seem to be very high scoring, but at the same time reasonably close. There have been few blowouts in this event.
Welsh doing a good job defensively that time, putting pressure on the point guard, making him work. And when he went to work, his teammates got in the act.
Terrific job by the defense. James Moore had gone sailing by, good help by Austin Reel on Kamen. J.D. Summers running into the screen right there, returning for Team Illinois. And Timbo Brockus, that walk-on headed to Michigan State, is also back in. Before the inbounds pass, holding is called on Brett Milton. Grabbed the arm of Ricky Paulding. Chris Kamen being double-teamed by Marty Allward with his back to the camera and getting a slap on the leg from Derek Owen. Seals great legs, lively legs. He gets up in a hurry. Johnson scores after his miss. Arthur Johnson was second team All-State this year. Averaged 20 points and 13 rebounds a game. Melton, much closer than he normally is a three-point expert. Tony Bound, hit and foul. Bound will shoot 2.
That time Bound had it on the dribble, and none of his teammates without the ball could get out in front of him. They were all bunched in there fairly tight, and he just kept his dribble alive and then tried to take it to the hoop, and he'll go to the line shooting a pair.
Tony Bound this past season was the 6th best free throw shooter.
Keep talking.
In the state of Michigan.
Because he missed his first one.
Yep.
Never fails, does it?
No, 89% this past year.
I thought that only happened during the season. Even in the summertime when you talk about a great free throw shooter, and there you saw the stroke that got him those records right there.
Thomas Dillard is back in for Team Michigan, and Bound sits down after the free throws. Bound considered Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan and committed to Central Michigan.
You can't decide east or west. You just go in the middle. Is that the way? Was the geographical decision? Is that?
We heard the slap from here.
I think that might have been a foul.
Bograkis takes out the right arm of the shooter, and Brett Melton will go to the line. He's a 77% free throw shooter, Brett Melton.
And this guy made 275 three-pointers in his high school career.
Yep. 9 of them in a single game. He was a 4-year starter in high school. In his 4-year average, which normally is dragged down by a freshman year, was 19 points a game and 81% from the line over 4 years.
Good concentration on both of those, and nothing but the bottom. And the made free throw allows them to set up their pressure. This time Seals being the trigger man, and he's in a tough spot right underneath the basket. Needs to move a little bit out to the side.
Pressure's coming from the long arms of 6'8" James Moore. In the semifinals yesterday, Team Illinois deployed a full court press regularly and far more than any of the other 3 teams. On travel day 4 days ago, the teams had a single practice. Then they went 2 a day, 2 a day, and then 1 a day, a shoot around on their semifinal game. Nice move by Johnson.
Used his weight well to establish that position inside, and then had the little soft touch on the finish. You're talking about that pressure. Illinois forced 31 turnovers in that ball game and got beat.
Yeah, can you win with 31 turnovers? And if there's any state that you would be surprised to hear they had turned it over 31 times, it would be Indiana. Bograkis tries to match the 3 at the other end from Melton. Moore with the ball. With headband.
How about that? Just calmly takes it the length of the floor. Showed some nice versatility right there.
5-point game in the first half here in Dayton. Nice anticipation.
You read it all the way.
You said you like Dwayne Wade.
He is athletic. This guy has a great step. And that's one thing you can project will work well at the next level when the guy has that type of quickness and that explosive first move.
Summers just simply can't reach as high as Thomas Dillard. Summers, good shot in high school. Melton way behind the 3-point arc. Moore with the board. And Eugene Seals, who actually got scraped off of his man by a nice screen from Austin Reel, reaches in and fouls. Two players will come in for Illinois and 1 for Michigan. At the line, James Moore, out of Thorn Ridge High School in Dalton, Illinois. He's headed to New Mexico State and said he chose New Mexico State, in his words, because they have the best coaches in the West.
Well, they got Lou Henson, the great Lou Henson, that coached at Illinois for so many years. And, of course, Lou obviously still has some contacts in that state and enticed that young man to go west.
We've got a break. We'll return to Dayton. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
In anticipation of your unbridled success as a Wall Street Journal reader, how to keep your children humble. Give them chores to do around the house.
Up to it! Time is my money!
Encourage them to play sports. A few tips on being madly successful from the Wall Street Journal, full of insight on making it big. Get the journal for just 57 cents a day for 13 weeks, 25% off the regular rate. The Wall Street Journal. Call 800-216-0700. That's 800-216-0700.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Let's go Fire!
Hyundai owners know value.
I bought the Hyundai Accent because it's affordable and reliable, dependable.
During the Real Sale event, the Hyundai Accent is an even smarter choice. It comes with the freedom of America's Best warranty. And it comes with a long list of standard features for just $8,934. Hurry in, because during the Real Sale event, the Hyundai Accent is going real quick. Get the Accent for just $8,934 during the Real Sale event.
Now on TLC, firewalk into the world's hottest spots. Chase scientists' boldest risk takers.
It is very, very hot.
Feel the force of a major blast.
The mountain's going to blow and we're going to be killed.
Pinpoint the next disaster.
It could explode at any time.
Experience high heat, humid cool, at the heart of the world's great volcanoes. Lava Hunters, a premier television event, Sunday at 7 on TLC.
William Shatner here. Now you can name your own price for groceries, and you get them at your local store, up to half off. It's Priceline.com. Watch.
Today, I went on Priceline for about 10 minutes or so before I got here. I saved $30 at checkout.
You see that guy there? He got the same coffee, the same cereal I did, but he paid full price. I got mine for 50% off because of Priceline. Who wouldn't do this?
It's Priceline, and it's the real deal.
Priceline. It's not just for airline tickets anymore.
We're in the final minutes of this first half of the Wendy's Classic third-place game between Team Illinois in the black and Team Michigan in the red. Team Michigan has trailed most of this first half, but it's been close. Brett Melton, one of the top outside shooters coming out of the state of Illinois, misses. So does Blankson, his teammate. Tips galore. And finally, Dwayne Wade again.
He's active with good leaping ability. Did a good job just getting that one back up on the glass, and he got the roll. He's 5 out of 7 from the floor here in the first half is Dwayne Wade.
Ricky Paulding hits 3.
Paulding showing some versatility. We've seen him take it to the hoop. He had the nice slam from the left side, and now he hits a deep 3 out on the right wing.
Since Kamen didn't come out on him, Smallwood just decided to fire.
Well, sometimes you wonder how some of those little guys get inside and get those offensive rebounds. J.D. Summers just picked up the personal foul. He pushed everybody out of the road. That's how he got it. Strong athlete, though. Good move inside. Just got caught that time.
Dave Gilliland. What a year he's having. Besides nearly dying last week, he's changing high school jobs, and in September he's getting married. Just your routine summer.
Just a regular. Another summer.
Cabrillo Kimball, 6'2", going to Grand Rapids Community College as a senior at Wyoming Park. Averaged 21 a game, made 3 of every 4 from the line.
There you go again.
I know what
I won't say anymore.
2 for 2 in the Jinx tonight. Championship game will match Team Ohio and Team Indiana. First, those 2 states will have met for the championship of this Best in the Midwest Wendy's Classic tournament. Oh, pretty move. Shot just won't come down. But my goodness, how quickly he got around his man. And now he steals it back, and there's your boy, Dwayne Wade.
Can't believe that he missed it when he got inside with it. Good quick hands, just stayed with it. Didn't get frustrated when he missed the shot. Digs in, goes back after the basketball. And little drop step, and here he goes. He'll shoot a pair as that one didn't go in.
Neither of these teams from the field is shooting at 35% thus far. Arthur Johnson rumbles into the game. Wade, also 75% free throw shooter. He was his conference's most valuable player this year. 27 points a game. Quick timeout called by James Davis. Couldn't get it in. The Wendy's Classic had its first class of alumni actually passing through their 4th year of college, meaning that this is the first year that former Wendy's Classic players could be drafted into the NBA, and 3 of them were just a few weeks ago. Jason Collier, who played in the Wendy's Classic in '96 for Team Ohio, was selected number 15 overall by Milwaukee. Dan Lange, who played for Team Kentucky, and again, Kentucky was in this tournament just in the first year, was chosen 31st overall by Dallas. And a name well known in this state because of a distinguished 3 years at Ohio State University before heading to the pros. Michael Redd from Team Ohio was chosen number 43 overall, and he'll join Jason Collier at Milwaukee. The very first Wendy's Classic alum ever to go into the NBA was the rather remarkable Corey Maggette, who played in the Wendy's Classic, was chosen its most valuable player, went right to Duke, took them to the Final Four, went right to the NBA, and scored $14 million. Michigan has attempted 5 dunks, and they've missed 4. Fred Milton, nice move.
That's really the difference in the ball game as far as the scoreboard is concerned, with the 5 easy ones that they have missed. They've missed layups, they've missed dunks.
Dillard decides to go ahead and shoot it. He's short on his 3. Marcus Howard. To Blankson. And Wade again just loses control.
Illinois doing a little bit better job making the extra pass. We know it's an all-star game, but they're playing together just a little bit better than the Michigan ball club here in the first half. They forged ahead by 7 now. 3 passes that time at the offensive end. That seems like a lot in an all-star game. It's usually 1 pass and get it up.
Well, if you're wondering why this event is in July, it's precisely for what Bill just mentioned. The Wendy's Classic wanted to be a tournament. It did not want to be just another all-star game. And the idea was, if it's just going to be playground basketball, what's the use? So the coaches associations of all 4 states that compete in this were asked, how many practices does your team need to be able to install plays on offense, prepare to play good nose-in-your-face defense, and deliver the kind of basketball that hopefully you see in mid-February. And so they structured the event so that indeed would be a legitimate tournament and a pretty legitimate reflection of their state's talents. Seals misses after Miller had missed.
Seals showing that versatility. The shot didn't go, but we've seen him put it up inside with both hands here in this first half.
O'Darty Blankson, nice smooth move to the basket.
Biggest lead of the game for Illinois.
Yeah, Gilliland, he's tired. Can't give the intensity, he said. Quite a coach. The coach is here, honored to be taking part in the event and working desperately for their state's pride.
And that's the other reason you're going to see good basketball, obviously, is when they have multiple practices with coaching staffs like are assembled here. They are going to play together. Lots of passes and sets some screens. Now we'll see if that coaching nugget is followed here at the offensive end. There's 1 pass. There's 2. We've got some screening action going on both sides of the floor.
Just trying to get as close as he can, and it doesn't quite work for Howard. Almost over and back.
Thought about it,
footwork,
but didn't release it.
Paulding misses 3. Here's Wade again with another rebound. He's got a man long, but his coach yells for a quick timeout.
Probably going to go for the last shot of the half here. 33 seconds on the shot clock, and you've got 35 on the game clock.
We had mentioned that Lon Kruger had left the University of Illinois for the Atlanta Hawks. He got the offer after Michigan State's Tom Izzo rejected a $15 million package from Atlanta, all because he knows what he's building at Michigan State University.
Well, he's done a phenomenal job. Obviously, they won the national championship, and the college coaches also realize they're being well compensated for what they're doing, but some of the numbers in the NBA right now almost seem like Star Wars to these guys. But Ron Kruger elected that it's not just a change in income and everything else that's associated with it. It's a lifestyle change when you leave college and go to the NBA. And the biggest change I think the coaches see is the fact that they can go from a recruiting situation to a draft situation. Because so much of college basketball revolves around recruiting.
Yep. Well, as you might expect, the coaches who are keeping an eye on this game are not doing so for recruiting purposes. All of these players are committed. It's to watch their thoroughbreds in their toughest competition to date. Melton again with another very long three.
And if you're going for the last shot, you can't throw it to Melton because he's going to get it airborne. But that time he was wide open and had good balance, had a great look, and he delivered it.
Seals attempts and misses the last shot of the first half of the third place game of the Wendy's Classic. We've got contests and performances coming up. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Choose one. Either Wendy's delicious classic double with cheese or heather.
What was that again?
Choose either Wendy's classic double made fresh so it's very hot and juicy or heather.
Wow.
Well?
Heather? That's never happened before.
Yeah, I knew it. We should have added Biggie fries and a drink.
Wendy's classic double with cheese, bliss, at least when it comes to hamburgers.
And remember, Wendy's pickup window is open late, so you can eat great even late.
With Grange Insurance, we strike a balance.
I don't want to insure my house through some cold, distant corporation.
We have rural roots.
But I don't want some fly-by-night company that hasn't been doing this for a long time.
Yet we're large enough that we can handle this area's worst disasters, and we've been at it since 1935.
My agent recommended Grange for my house.
The independent agent can recommend anyone. So Grange strives to be easy for both the customer and the agent to work with.
My agent said the best choice is easily Grange.
It's that simple.
Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse know how to play on and off the court. Carla Overbeck took a year off at the height of her career to have a baby. Sammy Sosa has built an impressive home run resume, as well as a children's health clinic in his hometown. There's a time for sport and a time for life. Here's to those who know the difference.
This is halftime of the 5th annual Wendy's Classic basketball tournament that showcases the best of 4 states in state versus state competition. The teams from Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. For third place, Team Michigan is playing Team Illinois. Team Illinois, in the final minutes of the first half, pushed away from what had been a pretty close game to a 13-point margin. Right now, on the court and to your left, is a high school freshman from nearby Kettering, Ohio. His name is Alex Bush. He is having explained to him right now that he has a chance to win $5,000 if in a 30-second period he can make a lay-in, a free throw, a three-point shot, and then a half-court shot. If he misses any of those first 3, he may repeat them until he makes them, and the half-court shot gives him only one opportunity. If his toes are on the line on any shot, there the clock is now moving. If his toes are on the line, it doesn't count. For every shot that he makes, he pockets 25 bucks. So he's already got $25. The clock is counting down. Doesn't sound like much time, but actually if you make that free throw on your first try, it suddenly really opens up. He's made $50. Toes behind the line. It's a $50 30 seconds for Alex Bush of Kettering, a high school freshman. And when we return, you will see, I think, quite a cheerleading performance. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья! Итак, мы с вами в Хабаровске на чемпионате по пощечинам. Сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Уж так сильны оба претендента. Итак, смотрим. Уже сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Как обещали нам его организаторы. Единственный претендент на чемпионский титул Розановский без...
Here's your chance to be the official Toyota everyday fan of the game. During the 5th inning of every Cubs game on Fox Sports Net, we'll randomly select one lucky fan of the game. If Chip and Steve read your name and the Cubs score in their half of the inning, you'll win a Toyota Fox Sports Net prize package, including a hat, t-shirt, and a pair of Cubs tickets. To enter, send in a postcard to Toyota Everyday Fan of the Game, 350 North Orleans Street, Suite S1-100, Chicago, Illinois, 60654. Now that's fantastic.
Captain Credit, Chicagoland's greatest loan approval expert, continues his fight for unbeatable car payments, getting you the best rates for a top-quality car, truck, van, or SUV at Watson Motorsport. Let the captain help you get into the vehicle of your dreams at Watson Motorsport. Watson Motorsport, Chicagoland's largest used car dealership at 147th and Pulaski in Midlothian.
Here's Hansen. That's a three. Bobby Hansen.
What a great time that was. Hi, I'm Bobby Hansen, and I'm back with the Bulls. We've put together over 100 kids camps this summer called the Chicago Bulls Basketball School. We'll be teaching basketball to young players all over the Chicago area.
So call 630, go Bulls. Like riding a bike.
For more information, call 630-GO-BULLS. Brought to you by Nike and Gatorade.
Why settle for a little of something you love when you can have a lot more? Order HBO with AT&T digital cable and you get 3 channels of HBO. That's more great programs, from recent box office hits and original programming to sports and comedy specials. And best of all, you get it right through the cable you already have. Order AT&T digital cable today and start getting more of what you want.
The cargo you transport every day is precious. Take care of your car and its cargo at Britain's Express Oil and Lube. From the moment you arrive at Britain's, you'll be greeted with an experienced, friendly staff. In just 10 minutes, you'll receive a complete oil change and our famous 18-point service check. They even vacuum your car's interior. Oil change, AC recharge, and a host of additional services are available at Elgin's most reliable car care center, Britain's Express Oil and Lube, located on Larkin Avenue just across from Larkin High School. Britain's Express Oil and Lube, for service you can trust.
Less than a minute away from the beginning of the second half. Here is a look at some of the notables of the first half.
Ricky Paulding coming in from the right side. There's no doubt on that one. Took the nice little pass and nailed it inside. Here was Wade with the steal. Nice anticipation. He takes it to the other end. He puts it down with authority. He had 5 field goals in that first half. Nice little touch pass here. And this one doesn't go for Paulding. And this is what happened to Team Michigan in that first half of play. They were just 11 of 37 from the floor. And 5 of the misses were inside like that.
Team Michigan attempted 5 dunks, made 1. So after kind of a first half of run and gun that settled down in the final minutes, and when Illinois settled it down, suddenly leads of 4, 5, and 6 shot up to 13. Message there?
Well, they took good care of the basketball. They got a good look each time down. The coach that's trying to relax is not. Still after him. But it's paid off. He's got a 13-point lead at halftime, and they took that timeout for the last possession. And Brett Melton, who's headed for the University of Illinois, delivered the 3 in the closing seconds of that first half to stretch it to the biggest margin, 13 points. They start with the lead and the basketball.
Barry Welsh matched up with Tony Bound. Austin Reel matched up with Arthur Johnson.
Michigan challenging a little bit more defensively here to start this second half. Nice pass.
Everybody was on the right side of the court, wide open underneath, and Wade gets a couple more.
Nice play by Reel as he took it to the defense. Pulled Wade's man to him and then just delivered the pass.
Wade leads all scorers in the game with 16. Big Haas, as they call him, fades away, and Arthur Johnson will shoot a couple. Reel got him.
They start the ball game, Michigan does the same, or the second half the same way they started the ball game, by dumping it inside to their big people. But when they didn't score from it immediately, they went away from it.
Marty Allward watching his team Michigan and watching Arthur Johnson, who says that the other colleges he seriously considered before committing to Missouri were Miami of Ohio, Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State. One of the assistant coaches at Missouri has roots in Michigan. That's often the case. If you hear of a player really going long distance to college, might be because of a coaching connection. Reel. Johnson gambled on the steal. It opened up for Reel. He misses. Nice tip and an awkward one it had to be by J.D. Summers.
Summers is strong. He plays aggressively inside, and that time saw that little crease, got a hand on the ball, and tapped it back in nicely.
Bound, shakes off Welsh, misses with his own tip. Summers with another board. Here's a 2-on-1.
Strength of Summers, and when you know it, great pass again from Welsh.
And Wade is everywhere.
Well, he's just so graceful. He got out on the break. Did a nice job, and ball was delivered very well by Barry Welsh. We talked about at the top of the coach's feeling how strong the play of the point guard had to be in this scenario, and Welsh has taken good care of the ball in the minutes he's been on the floor.
Nice stroke by James Davis. Davis will be heading to Texas Christian University. He was second team All-State this year in Michigan. Melton, partially blocked, I think, or maybe his arm was bumped and it wasn't called. Nice steal from behind. Guess who? Dwayne Wade is just having a terrific evening.
He is so quick, and that's twice tonight. He's sneaked in behind people to come up with the ball with good quick hands, and then he takes it to the basket, and there's the strength of Johnson down inside, establishing that position.
Blood on the face of Dwayne Wade.
And the leading scorer might have to go out for a moment here.
Well, when better to do it than 15-point cushion that he helped build up. Certified trainers here in Dayton from Samaritan North, sports, medicine, and fitness, are at every practice. Physicians are at all games. The Wendy's Classic would not be permitted to make a misstep like that with all of these college-bound thoroughbreds. College coaches would scream loudly, and rightfully so.
Nice pass again by Johnson to ignite the break.
Seals gets between a couple of black jerseys.
And that's his first points here tonight. He ignited this crowd last night with 23.
Led his team with 23.
He gets his first deuce as we start the second half, and now Summers delivers again. He's shown strength inside, shooting stroke outside.
Eugene Seals yesterday had 23 points, 16 rebounds, led his team in both categories. Shoving foul underneath, I believe, on Arthur Johnson. Michigan now starting to look a little tired. 16 points down. Following this, the championship game between Team Ohio and Team Indiana. Welsh, throughout this tournament, has given up a lot of height at only 5'10". There's Melton again with another three.
That was good offensive concept that time down. Welsh used the screen, elected not to force it. And then got it to the good outside shooter in Melton, who delivered again from outside.
18 points for Brett Melton. Ricky Paulding.
Just a good individual move there. Little spin move inside. Good catch by Reel, who's coming to set the screen, not quite ready for it.
Welch in over his head on that one. 7 feet underneath to stop him, and Chris Kamen. Quick hands of Illinois, and there's Welch, and gets it past Tony Bound. Melton trying to stop and start, and Seals picks him clean. Couldn't get his hands on it. So now Michigan is 1 of 6 in attempted dunks.
Good choice there by Summers as he got the rebound from the long three and pulled it out. Might have traveled right there. Kamen, the big 7-footer, came out to challenge him.
4 new players will enter for Team Illinois, but not until after a break. You're watching the 3rd place game of the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse know how to play on and off the court. Carla Overbeck took a year off at the height of her career to have a baby. Sammy Sosa has built an impressive home run resume, as well as a children's health clinic in his hometown. There's a time for sport and a time for life. Here's to those who know the difference.
Auto insurance is not some do-it-yourself project.
I tried an 800 number I saw on TV.
It really takes sitting down with an expert who knows the ropes.
But like maintenance, it's who you know. And that's not someone that's thousands of miles away with a headset on, 5 people on hold.
Range Insurance is only sold through independent agents. And we have to do a good enough job that the agent can look the customer right in the eye and say,
I sat down with my agent, told her my life story, and she said,
Range is the best choice for your car.
She said grain. And I'm real comfortable with that.
There are backyards and alleys and last second place when I take the time to be a hero today. We got the shoes, the game, and the gear. When I'm wanted, I'll start here. There's a million reasons and a single story.
This is Fox Sports Net.
With Bill Hoskett, this is Chuck Underwood from the Nutter Center in Dayton. Team Illinois is pulling away from Team Michigan for 3rd place in this year's tournament, and there is perhaps the star of this game, Dwayne Wade, trying to stop the bleeding.
Getting worked on right here. You can see he was around the action the entire way, but this guy, showing on our stat sheets, is 8 out of 11 from the floor. That's his 2nd steal of the game right there with that nice little move.
At
like
halftime,
17 minutes, he has 20 points.
Which leads all teams. At the break, neither team was hitting 35% from the field. Now Illinois is up to near 40.
Oh, nice play out of the big guy, taking it up the floor.
Yep, good dribbling. Dillard misses. Kamen again in the semifinals. Bill just showed little surprises like that. The ability to run or the ability to show strength from that lanky body.
He's lanky, but obviously all these kids are young yet, so he'll continue to fill out and develop.
Langston scores for Team Illinois. It's a 19-point game.
He has some quickness and the ability to run the floor.
I'll have to check our scoreboard in the arena, showing different from our television scoreboard. I'm not sure which is the computer age, which one's right. Foul on Tony Bound. Team Michigan reached the championship game in the very first Wendy's Classic, but lost by 16 to Team Ohio. The next year it made the championship game, lost to Indiana. Next year it made the championship game, lost to Illinois. And 0-2 last year, and facing that again in the year 2000. Blocking foul called. It's Bo Gracchus again. He's heading for the reigning national champion Michigan State Spartan. And the coaching wizardry, it now appears pretty clear, of Tom Izzo.
Oh, he's done a great job. The understudy, the Judd Heathcote, and taking over the reins. 3 straight Big Ten championships and now a national title.
Matt Miller gets sandwiched. They'll either call the foul on Marcus Howard or James Moore. Looks like it'll be Howard.
The natural lefty took it in there, went up with his strong hand. Get a chance at the free throw line to cut into this lead.
Six feet 4, 200 pounds. Miller's, from his high school career, phenomenal shooter from anywhere on the court. His dad happens to be the shooting coach for the Vancouver Grizzlies of the NBA. So he learned at the dinner table as well as on the playground.
And that time they did just what they have to do if they want to get back in it. Not only you have to get something done at the offensive end, but they've got to get some stops. Illinois turning the ball over. Little double screen along the baseline for Miller.
3 black jerseys around him, and he'll shoot 2.
Bumped that elbow hard as he came down inside after the foul. He pops up, trying to shake it off, and he'll go right back up to the free throw line to stroke 2 more.
Hasn't straightened his shooting arm yet. Let's see how this goes. An 80%er from the line this past winter. Second team All-State.
Pretty good rhythm on that one. Took it straight off the dribble and nailed it.
2 teammates come in for Team Michigan and 1 for Team Illinois. That's Paulding back in, number 25.
Chance to cut it to 16 with the clock stop. Perfect again from the line.
16-point game. And as it turns out, our Fox box there in the lower right was accurate on the score, and the scoreboards here in the arena had it wrong. Lewis Smith, he just re-entered the game, working on Miller, but dribbles off his own foot.
You do anything to make those guys in the truck feel good, don't you?
Got to take care of Fox Sports Net. Got to take care of the truck. There's Smith. Another one who will, as Bill has said, will put on a lot of weight in the next 4 years when those college coaches get their hands on him.
Nice little tangle out on top, no call.
Thomas Dillard, nope. Paulding can't get it. And down they come. That's Drew Karstens who hit the deck. We haven't talked much about number 20, Drew Karstens, 6'2", 190, out of Downers Grove North High School. And he will attend one of the real classy Division III colleges in this country, in the Quad Cities region of Davenport, Iowa, and Rock Island, Illinois, Augustana College. Averaged 20 points a game as a senior. He can't shake his defenseman, and so Marcus Howard has to call a timeout. This will be a 30. One of the major issues floating around in college basketball that these players will have just missed is that by next summer, it could be that high school Division I graduates heading to Division I colleges will be going to summer school, that their scholarship money will begin in the summer instead of in the autumn. And there's some real strong feeling on that one, Bill, on both sides.
Well, as all these issues, there's always strong feeling on both sides, and certain people saying, push them ahead, let's get them more prepared, let's get it done earlier. Other guys saying, hey, we're already asking too much of freshmen. You look at how it works in football, and you see If you're looking in the Big Ten anyway, a team like Ohio State that's on the quarters system, a youngster can come to Ohio State and play 3 or 4 football games before you go to class.
Smallwood misses. Up with it, Cabrillo Kimball. Miller with that left hand that had an injured elbow a minute ago. Still a 16-point game. In the final minutes of the first half, Team Illinois began taking control. And you see the relaxation in that stroke of Marcus Howard.
Howard left all alone, and he made Michigan pay for it. One thing they cannot do is leave the man with the basketball when you're trailing in it, especially against players of this caliber. It's just about everybody out there can make you pay.
Johnson can't get it down, but he'll shoot a couple. Fouled by James Moore.
He pins his man down in the low post with that weight advantage that he has. We talk about most of these guys will pick up weight in their college careers. This young man will probably be asked to go the other way, or you'll see that distribution change a little bit on his body.
265 pounds on a 6'9" frame. Detroit Pershing is his alma mater.
And that's the key. He has the big frame, so gets up and down the floor pretty doggone well for the size that he's carrying.
His high school had a 3-year record from his sophomore through his senior season of 60-9. Famous football coach from the state of Michigan, Bo Schembechler, said, "To heck with experience. It needs to be winning experience to do a kid any good." Wild shot by Wade, nice follow by Drew Karstens. Paulding, nobody stops him, and Michigan is 1 for 7 in dunk attempts.
You saw the opening.
Karstens trying to get around Cabrillo Kimball.
Illinois continues to make that extra pass at the offensive end. That time, good defensive play.
Thomas Dillard, foul called. The Illinois coaches are screaming for a charge, and instead it's going to go against Karstens.
Wade, who's had the big evening, he spins inside, and Dillard put it back. I thought you told me that guy was just recovering. He looks to me like he's fine here tonight. Yellowland is up again. He's got 2 of the officials looking for a 3rd.
Was it a charge or a block? And there in the background, the Illinois coaches were already beginning to gape. Dave, got a break here at 11:28. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Metro Fire!
Time to rock Wrigley. Sammy's out to launch the long ball. Todd Helton is chasing 400. Cubs Rockies, Tuesday at 1 on Fox Sports Net.
See me take on Connors, Vilander, Pernfors, and others in the Nuveen Champions at Grand Park. Call toll-free 877-535-MATCH for tickets or log on to tickets.com.
Isn't it time for some absolute luxury for your abundant lifestyle? Then it's time to see some attentive listeners at your automotive lifeline. Arlington Lexus in Palatine.
Right now, lease a 2000 RX 300 4x4 with leather, automatic transmission, moonroof, CD player, and more for only $399 a month.
Your luxury automotive lifeline. Bob Rummer's Arlington Lexus in Palatine, just 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
The Houston High School pep band is helping us along at the Nutter Center in Dayton. This is the third place game, and here is who's doing the damage thus far in this one.
Wade and Melton continue their good pace they had at halftime.
Pretty much on target for the combined 47 that they delivered a night ago, but they started slow in this one. The big guy gets up and he'll get to shoot again. Just too much bulk, it appears, for those slender Team Illinois players to handle underneath. That's Moore, another foul on him. So back at the line, Arthur Johnson.
Well, they found the secret here of getting it down inside to him. Now they've got to get something out of it. He's either got to make the field goal or convert some of these free throws. He missed the last couple he's put up. Nothing but the bottom on that one. Better stroke, good rhythm.
Team made it all the way to the state championship game his senior season this past winter and lost it. Tony Bound is in. Matt Miller is out for Team Michigan. These two states have the traditional all-state, all-star game, north, south, east, west, foul is called. The other two teams in this tournament, Ohio and Indiana, enjoy a bit of an edge because Ohio has a two-game series in June with the state of West Virginia, and Indiana has a home-and-home with the state of Kentucky. Indiana, however, has about half the population and half the number of high schools of all other three states. But if you're talking Indiana basketball, that makes it a fair fight. James Moore scores. Stop and start by Kimball, and he succeeds in getting a foul by Karstens. Most of the crowd here in Dayton, Ohio, waiting to see the championship game, which will feature a player of just spectacular proportion. His name is Romain Gasogbo Sato. He is from the Central African Republic, came to America only a year and a half ago, and just lit up the state. Didn't know how to speak the English language when he arrived. A phenomenal story. And he has turned down Ohio State, and he's turned down Wright State and Dayton and many other schools, primarily east of the Mississippi, because he came for just one full year of high school basketball, but not all the colleges know him. Nice follow there by the strong-legged Ricky Paulding. He really jumps.
Michigan trying to pick it up defensively, trying to make a little run, but good move inside.
By Marcus Smallwood, who's bound for Northern Illinois University, comes out of Elgin High School. Paulding again. Had a terrific first half.
Still 10.5 minutes remaining.
16 points for Paulding. Wade is blocked.
Oh, good move. Stayed with it inside and got away from Arthur Johnson. Knew the big guy was from behind him and used the basket
22
to help shield
points.
Johnson from the ball. Paulding again, taking it to the glass, gets it to go, but trading hoops won't do it for them.
Paulding with 18 points, 7 of 14 from the field. Nice try by Smallwood. Rebound to Bound. Going long, got a man open. Paulding catching up is Karstens. And he gets him on the hip.
They're already in the one-on-one, but this one's a two-shot variety. That time, Paulding making great use of the dribble. Caught it about 25 feet from the hoop, and with the long strides and only one bounce of the ball, got it to the basket. Look at this move right here. There's the bump. And that's a play as he gets older and stronger, he'll be able to finish. Now he goes to the line rather than getting the three-point attempt. He will try to deliver the two free throws.
He was first-team All-State in Michigan this year. The other schools he says he considered were Ohio State and Miami of Ohio. A lot of substitutions now. 4 black jerseys and 1 red. The red is Chris Kamen, the 7-footer. He runs well enough. The sport almost left the big boys behind in the last decade. In the 1980s, 7-footers kind of dominated the sport. And they all seem to enroll at the University of Minnesota.
And they still do. They keep coming.
17-point game. Illinois really jumped on Michigan towards the end of the first half. Foul called. Just the team's 6th foul, so it's out of bounds to Illinois.
Coaches felt he was in the act of shooting, but they're not going to win that one.
O'Darty Blankson gets 3.
Just popped open on the inbounds play and got a wide open look.
Paulding's kind of fired up. You can sense it coming down the court. He, I think, had made up his mind at midcourt that he was going in. Substitute James Davis, number 13, will enter for Team Michigan. Paulding, a lot of moves. Considered spinning left, spinning right, and decided just to fade away from everybody.
He's continuing to compete each time down.
He has 21 now. Wade fakes. 2 players, still gets it.
Nice move along the baseline.
.24 for Wade, pardon me, Bill.
Paulding with that good move again, just each time down with the long strides taking the ball to the basket. Almost trying to do too much of it by himself. Great athlete, trying to get his team back into it. They trail it by 20. But we're calling his name almost every trip down the floor these last 4 or 5. Gets the bounce.
He's going to Missouri, as is his Husky teammate Arthur Johnson.
Gets them both.
18-point game.
Michigan tried the pressure. It didn't work. They're relaxing it a little bit more now. Won't lob over the top of that guy.
Nope.
He knows where the basketball is at the defensive end. Great pass.
Wow. Now, a very decisive.
Great pass and a great slam. Nice catch and finish. But a tough angle, a little wraparound bounce pass.
I have a feeling you are more impressed with the attitude of Ricky Paulding at this moment than the athletic ability.
That play right there. Great look. Wow. Very impressive.
No giving up by number 25. 16-point game.
Showing a little bit of zone.
Summers gets 2.
You're going to play zone. You better know where Summers and Melton are.
Yep.
Because they're going to stay out behind that arc. That time it was just the 2.
Paulding is hit just after the shot. No foul called. Welsh to Summers. Cut off nicely by Spalding, and out it comes. Two misses in a row by Summers. Rebound to Kamen, and let's see what Paulding does. Bat, chance at 3.
He got it to the right guy. Nice quick outlet again by Kamen. He's done that all night. He has a nice quick release after he comes down with a defensive rebound. And especially when you outlet it to an athlete like Paulding, he can push it up the floor all by himself. And that time on the dribble. And that open floor, just so graceful. This time he does finish. Gets the roll and have a chance at the 3-point play.
Ricky Paulding has 27 points. And he leads everybody. The highest scoring player in the history of this tournament came from Team Michigan. Timeout called by Illinois. It'll be a 30. Rashad Phillips, 5 feet 8. And because the baggy uniforms were really in fashion in the state of Michigan after the Fab 5 at UM really popularized them, Phillips was 5'8", and The uniform pants that he wore were about 5'9", but he scored 31 and 30, and at 5'8", remains the highest two-game scorer in the history of the tournament. He's at the University of Detroit now and having a good career.
Well, he's the young man, of course, that helped Detroit 2 seasons ago, upset UCLA in the first round of the NCAA, and then Ohio State, anticipating facing UCLA, didn't do it. Beat Detroit and then went on to play in the regionals. And great matchup against he and Scooney Penn. And guess who won that one that particular night? I'd give it to Scooney. His junior year at Ohio State, just a phenomenal year by Penn when he was co-MVP of the league. There's a bump on the inbounds play. A little push off, and we're going to go the other direction.
Foul, I think, might be on Melton. These two states, by the way, have met only once in the Wendy's Classic. It was 2 years ago when perhaps the most talented single individual ever to play in this tournament, Corey Maggette, scored 35 in the trophy game and led Illinois to a 7-pointer over Team Michigan. James Davis shooting.
Knocks in the first. This guy averaged 26 points a game.
Apparently wanted to head out of town. His second choice after or before committing to TCU would have been San Diego State. We have a timeout called at 7:26 of the second. You're watching the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net. The Wendy's Classic is brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. It's there for you. By Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. Grange Insurance. For all your insurance needs, choose Grange Insurance, your partner in protection. By Meyer, a million reasons, a single store. And there's a time for life and a time for sport. This is for those who know the difference. Fila.
Someday you'll have to choose a career. Even one person to spend the rest of your life with. Which could lead to the one who will change it all. Someday, but not today. So enjoy the great taste of Dr. Pepper and take life one swig at a time. No sense growing old ahead of schedule.
There are backyards and alleys and last-second plays when I take the time to be a hero today. We got the shoes, the game, and the gear. One-on-one, it all starts here. There's a million reasons and a single story.
With Bill Hoskett, this is Chuck Underwood from the Nutter Center in Dayton. Team Illinois leads Team Michigan by 14 for third place in this year's tournament. Team Ohio will meet Team Indiana for the trophy.
Illinois stretched it to 13 right at the end of the half, never really being threatened here in the second half. Now going to work against the pressure.
Smallwood pulls up short of the much taller Chris Kamen. Leads back to 16.
Tougher shot than it looked, even though it was from close range. He had to loop it over the outstretched arms of the big guy. Paulding trying to do it himself again, took it inside. This time I think he might have picked up the personal foul going for the loose ball. He does. Got the 1-and-1, I believe, at both ends now as we're walking the length of the floor. Looks like Summers will step to the line.
Again, J.D. Summers going to Western Illinois. Second team All-State this year. His team went 25-5 and reached the Sweet 16 before departing the tournament.
Solid-looking athlete. Gets the first of two. It is now two because of the making the front end of the 1-and-1.
Good hustle by Tony Bound. Here he comes, but the defense is set. It's a 3-on-3, so they'll take the outside shot. James Davis misses. Kept alive by Michigan. Good job by Paulding once again.
29 now for Paulding.
Michigan trying to make something happen, and grabbed on the arm is Melton. Foul on Cabrillo Kimball. Players from these two states who in past Wendy's Classics have made the all-tournament team, which is chosen after the championship game, include the following. From Team Illinois, Corey Maggette not only was on the all-tournament team, he was the most valuable player of the 1998 Wendy's Classic before heading to Duke. Chris Williams, who had signed with Loyola of Chicago at the time, made it also in '98. And then last year, 2 Illinois players, Brian Cook, who would be headed to the University of Illinois, and Joe Tully, who had committed to DePaul. From Team Michigan, Rashad Phillips was all-tournament in 1996, and as Bill just mentioned, still very active and doing well at University of Detroit. Shane Battier, one of the classiest young people in the country, who would go on to Duke 1997, and Duez Henderson, who enrolled at Iowa. Some of the stars of these states teams in prior Wendy's Classics.
Another steal inside. Guess who?
Melton is long. Hands flying. Summers got it despite the presence of Big Arthur Johnson.
Dwayne Wade with that steal. And then the strength of Summers as he knocked in the little half hook inside.
The lead was 20. Now it's down to 18. Good hands by Davis. Austin Reel down low. Now he comes out. Again, these are the two teams this year that have chosen to run. Indiana and Ohio much more patterned offenses. Wade, nice break and a nice feed from Reel.
Quickness again, got him free. And then coming in from the left side, he just dumped in a little right-hander.
Bound from way beyond the arc.
Strokes in a 3. He leads the game in assists. He has 4. Welsh for Illinois has 3 assists in the game and has done a very good job of getting his team started offensively each time down.
Wade with the left hand. Nice move.
6'4" and about just under 200 pounds.
30 points for Dwayne Wade. Johnson.
Wade takes the charge inside, and he felt that one. You have all the quickness in the world, but when you set up in front of somebody that size, you're going to pay the price.
Number 30 is O'Darty Blankson, re-entering along with another teammate, Michigan substitutes. Summers departing.
Excellent second half out of Summers. Wade also getting the congratulation of his teammates, along with Welsh, who's now out of the ball game.
This is Indiana State-bound Marcus Howard with the ball. Melton is going to Illinois. Melton again. Bad shot, off balance. Howard makes sure he's behind the arc. Faulting charges. Pretty obvious there.
Left his feet inside, had the right idea, spotted his teammate, but he'd already committed. The momentum was going forward.
Lewis Smith, number 24, he took down. Teams have been away from home 5 days. They'll get back there immediately after their games today. Three-point opportunity for Reel.
Good move by Reel. He faced up, took the ball on the dribble inside, and then through the contact, knocked it in off the glass. Have a shot at the three-point play.
In the final minutes of this game, Grange Insurance will contribute a $1,000 college scholarship donation to the Basketball Coaches Association of the state of Illinois, and Meyer will contribute a similar amount to the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. And both will be given to deserving students, not even necessarily athletes, and they will be given in the names of each team's most outstanding player over the course of this two-day tournament, to be announced in just a minute or two. Foul called. Paulding was going in. From left to right, what you're looking at there, Dave Gilliland, Mike Bailey, and Rick Moss. Distinguished high school coaches in their state.
Now, you think you would tell from that picture that they might be leading in this game, wouldn't you? Look relaxed, smiling.
And then on the other hand, scratching the head, Marty Allworth. He and Robert Menifee and Derek Owens are leading Team Michigan this week. That's Owens on the right and Robert Menifee on the left, both coach in Detroit, both excellent with great records. That's number 1, Austin Reel, leaving. Ricky Paulding with 30, Dwayne Wade with 30.
Wade, however, getting a little bit more help from his friends here tonight.
Still a little bit of drama left. The highest scoring individual performance in the Wendy's Classic, 35 by Maggette. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
It's Floppy Hat Day on Sunday at 3 when the Fire plays the Metro Stars. Call for tickets today.
Metro Fire!
The golf scene is back.
We launched Verizon Wireless with one simple thought, that we could create a national wireless communications company that was better, with simple calling plans that are accessible to everyone.
Listen, please, listen everywhere, Chevy.
Ameritech Cellular is now part of Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Well, I'm positive you're going to love their low payments.
We're positive.
Yes, right now, for a limited time only, you can drive home in a brand new 2000 Ranger XL with factory air, sport appearance group, 15-inch styled wheels, and more for as low as $179 a month to lease, $259 a month to buy. Come on by, give us a try. You're going to love Ron Hopkins Ford on Route 19 in Elgin.
You're gonna love Ron Hopkins Ford. We're positive.
In the final minutes of this third-place game, Grange Insurance will be giving a $1,000 scholarship in the name of Dwayne Wade, who has been chosen Team Illinois' most valuable player in this tournament.
That young man, 13 field goals in this game here tonight.
Driving underneath and a bit off balance is O'Darty Blankson. And for Team Michigan, their own coaches have decided that number 25, Ricky Paulding, is the player in whose name Meyer will be giving a $1,000 donation to the BCAM, as it's called, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. And that association will split it up however it wants, either a single college scholarship grant or perhaps divide it up into multiple grants for deserving students in those two states.
Great idea by both companies and tremendous use of the funds, obviously.
Again, championship game, the states of Indiana and Ohio will decide the 2000 Wendy's Classic. Miller open underneath Bograkis. Nice passing. Seals is blocked and fouled.
Nice unselfish action inside. Seals the ultimate receiver of the last pass, but good offensive concept that time by Team Michigan. They stayed with it. There's 3:06 remaining and ran the set all the way through and got the easy one inside.
Again, as Bill had mentioned, last night, Eugene Seals, 23 points, tonight 3. Last night, 16 rebounds, tonight 6. And he'll play his college ball about an hour from here in Dayton in Oxford, Ohio at Miami. Miller knocks one into the first row.
And I'm sure Charlie Coles is looking forward to coaching that young man.
Yep. Mid-American Conference just occupies that unique niche in college basketball, and it's the only conference at that level. But it's really been improving recently.
In a lot of different sports. Getting on the schedules of a lot of teams.
And recruiting well.
It's just the exposure level that they continue to strive for.
Seals misses. And Karstens was in big, big trouble. The law of physics was about to take him out of bounds. Karstens' terrific high school career. Heading not too far away over to the Illinois-Iowa border where Augustana College awaits.
Picking it up defensively, trying to overplay every situation. Illinois doing a good job of managing the clock in this sequence. Shot clock in these types of tournaments never seem to be an issue. Right now it's down to single digits.
Karstens will go long, and because he misses the rim, the shot clock would have run out. And here we come. These players in high school do not use the shot clock. So this week in practice, they have had to practice. They were in a nearby junior high school gym. An assistant coach would shout out loud the clock countdown. When they moved their practices into the Nutter Center here, the actual shot clock was used. The coaches laughed, though. They said this is the year 2000, the way basketball is played. These kids would never see 35 seconds in a possession anyway.
Not really an issue. But your high score for a ball game is now being threatened.
Yep, Ricky Paulding, if he gets another, he'll tie Corey Maggette for 35 points to the best ever single scoring performance in the 5 years of this tournament.
Good-looking athlete is Paulding.
Here is our feel of play of the game, by the way. Paulding, or pardon me, Wade.
One of those 13 field goals, and he earned it the hard way. He went out and digs the basketball out on a steal and then takes it to the hoop.
Normally you'd have a dunk as the play of the game, but as we keep saying, the game's developed a statistic you normally don't like to hear. Michigan's 1 of 7 in dunks. Team Illinois probably had something to build on from last night, and perhaps Michigan didn't. Team Illinois was trailing by a large number in its semifinal against Indiana and made a tremendous comeback. And I think the coaches, when they pitched this game to them, used that comeback as a foundation for tonight's performance. Team Michigan simply lost a heartbreaker. It was felt maybe before the tournament began that the Ohio-Michigan game in the semifinals might turn out to be the best of the tournament, but Indiana, right after this game, will probably have something to say about that. Foul called on Bograkis. Oh, we can't believe it. Terrible call.
He is a hard worker. That's what it'll take, as we mentioned earlier, to be a preferred walk-on and walking into a national championship situation. He's going up with Tom Izzo at Michigan State. Boy, does he dig and fight on every possession, every play. Still diving for loose balls as team trailing here with 1:41 remaining.
Karstens did not score in yesterday's semifinal game. 2 tonight. Good defense. Quick hands of Matt Miller responsible for Illinois losing the ball. Nice pass to Bound. Nice tip by Seals, and up with it is Moore. Got a teammate ahead of him, but actually he'll end up outrunning everybody, and then Howard misses. Now
his concentration on the shot.
3-on-1. So Miller pulls up and tries 3, but they need points. Smart move. He got the lead. And out of trouble. Good job by Lewis Smith.
Nice pass.
Pass, yep. James Moore says thank you. Moore has 6 points. Seal squares up and takes his time. Smith. So Team Illinois will improve its record in the Wendy's Classic to 500. After 5 years, Team Illinois will be 4-4. It will have won the event in 1998. Bound misses. Team Michigan will drop to 3-7. Just having some final fun. Team Illinois, Moore scores again. The standings were pretty tight after 4 years, but this year now they're beginning to separate. So these 4 states are just now, for the first time in their history, developing a pecking order with each other. But Gracchus does get the final 2. And that ends this 3rd place game, and Team Illinois takes it from Team Michigan. We will return with the post-game wrap as you see winning coach Dave Gilliland. This is the Wendy's Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Hi, Jimmy, your friends are here.
This is a special birthday for Jimmy. After waiting 3 years, he was adopted. But thousands of kids, some older, some with brothers and sisters, still wait for the love and protection of a family.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas. I'm adopted, so I know the love adoption brings to both the child and family. Think about adopting a special child. They grow up to be special people.
Call today, 1-800-TO-ADOPT, or your local adoption agency for more information.
In time, you'll realize good jobs demand at least 1 degree. Raises only come once a year. And 1-hour lunches are never long enough. But for now, enjoy the great taste of Dr. Pepper and the 8 wheels beneath your feet.
Get the best seats guaranteed. Only with a Founder's Pass for the new Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet. NASCAR, Indy Racing. Call 815-727-RACE or chicagolandspeedway.com. First ones to get them get the best seats.
If you want to buy a car and save some dough, there's just one name you have to know. Big Joe. Big Dealin' Joe. Right now at Highland Park Volvo, Big Joe can save you big money on a brand new 2000 Volvo S70 GLT. Lease one for just $469 a month for 36 months. To get a price that's on the mark, see Big Joe in Highland Park. Big Joe. Big Dealin' Joe. Highland Park Volvo, 250 Skokie Valley Road in Highland Park.
Team Illinois secures